All right, in this explainer, we're going to walk you through a complete guide to the Crypto 5-Men PolyTraderBot. We'll cover everything, literally from installation all the way to your first safe simulated run, so you can learn the ropes without risking a single penny. So what exactly is the PolyTrader? Well, at its heart, it's a bot built to do one thing really well: predict and trade on 5-minute crypto price moves. It's specifically designed for those up or down prediction markets, the kind you see on places like Polymarket.
Now, this bot comes loaded with some seriously powerful tools right out of the box. You get a web dashboard to control everything. And more importantly, 3 different ways to run it: paper mode, dry run mode, and live mode. When you combine that with the built-in safety features, this whole setup is really about giving you a controlled, safe environment to test out your strategies.
Here's what we're going to cover. First, a quick look at what the PolyTrader is. Then, we'll get our hands dirty with the installation. After that, and this is crucial, we'll walk through the safe mode progression. And finally, we'll touch on going live and how to fix a few common issues.
Okay, first up, let's get a quick overview of the core tool itself.
All right, now for the fun part, let's actually get this thing installed and running for the very first time. Before we start, you just need a few things. First, make sure you have Docker installed and running on your computer. You'll also need to have the bot files unzipped in a folder somewhere. And that's it. That's all you need to get started with testing. The private key and funds, we can worry about those way later.
This right here is the magic command that does all the heavy lifting. Once you're in that project folder, you're just going to run docker compose up -d -build. Now, quick heads up, the very first time you run this, it has to download and build a bunch of stuff. So it could take, 2 to 5 minutes. Just be patient, let it do its thing.
Once that's done, the first time you open your dashboard, a little setup wizard will pop up. It's super straightforward. First, create a password. Next, it'll ask for your wallet key. But hey, you can totally skip this for now if you just want to play around in paper mode. Choose your wallet type, add a funder address if you need one, and just hit save. And don't worry, if you skip adding your wallet now and want to add it later, you don't have to start all over. Just go to your dashboard's web address and add /reconfigure to the end. That'll bring the setup wizard right back up. Easy. Okay, next up is probably the most important concept in this whole explainer: the safe progression through the bot's different modes. Think of this as your responsible path to live trading. Everyone, and I mean everyone, should start right here, in paper mode. This is your personal sandbox. It's a full simulation. The bot runs its logic, it makes trades, but it's all with fake money. There is absolutely zero financial risk. This is where you learn how the bot thinks and just get comfortable with everything. Once you feel good about paper mode, it's time to graduate to dry run. Think of this as the final dress rehearsal. Now, the bot is plugged into the real market using real-time data and logic. It will act like it's placing trades, but it stops just short of actually sending any orders. It's your last check to make sure everything looks right before you go live. And of course, the final step is live mode. This is the real deal. The moment you flip this switch, the bot will start placing real orders on Polymarket with your actual money. You should only ever enable this after you've spent plenty of time in paper mode and confirmed everything looks perfect in dry run mode. So, this is the main takeaway. This is the mantra you need to remember: paper, then dry run, then live. Following this path is the single most important thing you can do to operate this bot safely and responsibly. Do not skip steps.
Now that you've got the safe modes down, let's dive into our final section: some key settings for going live, how to fund your bot, and a couple of common troubleshooting tips.
So in your configuration file, these are the 4 settings you really want to pay attention to as a beginner. Always start with CFI mode set to paper. Right before going live, you'll switch CFI Poly Dry Run to true for that final check. We recommend keeping the bet mode fixed, and please start with a really small trade size, like $5 or even less.
The bot also has these awesome automated safety features built right in. Think of them like circuit breakers. There's a daily loss cap that stops trading if things go south, a pause if you get too many losses in a row, and another pause if your orders aren't getting filled. You should absolutely leave these on. They're there to protect you.
So you're ready to go live? Funding is a simple 4-step process. 1. Grab your bot's wallet address from the dashboard sidebar. 2. Send your USDC to that address. And this is super important. Make sure you're on the Polygon network. 3. Send a tiny bit of Peel or Matic to that same address for gas fees. And 4, always confirm you see the balances in your dashboard before you flip that switch to live mode.
Okay, let's talk about problems.
What happens if you run that start command? Everything seems to work, but when you go to the dashboard URL, nothing. Just a blank page that won't load. What do you do?
Here's your quick fix checklist. First, pop open your terminal and run docker ps to see if the container is even running. If it is, then check the logs for errors with docker logs crypto5men-polytrader. If all that looks good, it's possible another app on your computer is hogging port 8602, so you'll want to check for that.
All right, here's another common one. You go into your config file, you change a setting, maybe your max trade size, you save it, but the bot just keeps on using the old value. What's going on there?
The fix for this is super simple. The bot only reads that config file when it starts up. So after you save your changes, all you have to do is run docker compose restart. That'll quickly reboot the bot, and it'll load in your new settings. And remember, if you messed up your wallet info, it's usually just easier to use that /reconfigure page we talked about earlier.
So there you have it, the complete flow for installing and, more importantly, safety activating the Crypto 5-Minute PolyTrader. Just remember that key takeaway. Start in paper mode, keep those safety rails on, and only go live when you are 100% comfortable. You're now ready to start safely, so the only question left is, what will your first paper trade be?